everybody, welcome back. Today we're going to be making a really pretty icy snowy charm bracelet and showing you how to do the technical part of how it goes together. So similar concepts to what we explained yesterday with our earrings, but applied a little bit differently, okay? So we're going to do all of the beads, get a pin with a loop on them, and then all of the charms get a jump ring on them, and then they are all mounted on a piece of chain. So in the kit, which is $20 by the way, we'll have it on our website. If you don't have yours yet, you're welcome to purchase them there. You're going to get the chain, you've got a jump ring and a clasp for the closure part, you've got assorted beads, 4 different styles and 4 beads of each style, all the pins to put them on, all the charms. There are 5 different charms, 3 of each one. And so yes, basically let's go ahead and get started. So for starters, we do have to straighten the pins just like we did yesterday. And you can kind of tell I've got some stuff at different intervals, so I got a little bit of the prep work done so you don't have to watch me do the same thing 20 times. All right, so just go ahead and straighten your pins and get those little kinks out. And go ahead and just prep all your pins real quick. I'd kind of like to do things like this assembly line style since I'm going to be doing so many of them. Makes it go a little bit faster when I just do the same thing over and over and then move on to the next step. So straighten all your pins. And then I also like to sort everything out. So you can see I've sorted out all the little charms into their different piles and all the beads into their different piles. All of the beads are going to go on the pins. And so then I will go through and put all the beads on the pins. And then you can see these little guys. I like to make the loop, but not put it on the bracelet yet. So I make the loop and I kind of pull it open so there's a little gap right in here so I can slip it on the chain. So you're welcome to go about this however you want to. This is just my preferred method of doing it. So to make loops on top of the beads, similar to what we did yesterday, we're going to grab it a little bit above. And we are doing loop and wrap on this one, so you need to leave a little gap there for your wraps to fit into. Hold your bead, bend the tool forward, switch it out to the round nose, get it as close to that corner as you can, and the loop needs to be big enough to go over the chain, so you can't get too close to the tip here. You need to have a decent sized loop. Okay, your wire goes over the top towards you. Readjust your tool to get that bottom blade out of the way. Straight underneath away from you. And then this time we're going to you can just pull on the side, open it up just a little bit, and right there it makes that gap so that way it's a lot easier to slip on the chain. Okay, so let's do it again so you can see how it works again. So little gap above, hold the bead, turn your tool forward 90 degrees. Round nose goes right in the corner, short wire goes over the top, readjust the tool to get that bottom blade out of the way, straight underneath, and just pull it open a little bit, okay? And you're just gonna go through and do that to all of your beads. And we're basically just prepping them for the bracelet. And while you're doing this, I still like to keep them in separate piles so that way I can kind of keep up with my pattern as I go. All right, so once all of your pins have the little loops on them, okay, we have not wrapped them closed yet and they all have a little gap so it's easy to put on the chain. I just kind of like to put them to the side, and you can put them in whatever order you want to put them in because we're going to add those after we add the charms. But we did a little prep work and now we're going to go through and we're going to start by putting the bracelet together so that way we make sure it's the correct length. Right, so one end gets the lobster claw, and remember when we're doing our jump rings, we find that little split, put it on the top, and then use 2 pairs of pliers and go front to back. And then you're going to put it in the last link of the chain and put the lobster claw in there and then close. And remember, when you're closing, you can kind of wiggle it back and forth and push at the same time. And you can kind of feel the edges kind of grinding together so you know that they're touching whenever you feel them moving against each other. Okay, and the other side is going to get just a jump ring. Okay. All right, so then you need to go through and try it on. Make sure that it's going to fit you. Okay, mine will be just fine. I like it to kind of hang down a little bit, so I got a little bit of wiggle room. If you want it to be shorter or longer, if you want it to be shorter, you need to take some chain out, obviously. This chain is stainless steel, so you don't want to cut it with your good jewelry cutters. It will damage your cutters. But it does have a little opening right there, see? So you will open it just like the jump rings, okay? It's stainless, so you need to get a good hold of it and kind of be strong when you're opening it. But it will open, and you can just take that off and put your jump ring right where you want the shorter section to be. Or if you want it longer, you can just grab a little extension chain from a scrap chain that you have at home or something and add a little piece on here if you need it a little bit longer, or additional jump rings, however you like to do it. So now I've also taken my charms and put them kind of in the order that I want it to be. I want to just go with a pattern, so that way it's really easy to do. I don't want to have to kind of think about not putting two of the same kind next to each other. I just want to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way through, and it'll be a lot easier. So with the bracelet length as it is made for there to be a charm every 3 links on the bracelet. You can change this if you want to, okay? And then you got plenty of jump rings there for you. Doesn't matter which side you start on. You're going to open a jump ring, put on a charm, and then you're going to count 1, 2, put it in the third one, okay? And then close. Okay, we'll get another one. Open, and get the next one. And 1, 2, put it in the third one. Okay. Close. Okay, so starting where the last one was. Don't count the one that's already in there. 1, 2, put it in the third one. Okay, and you're just going to keep working your way down the line. So you don't count the one that has a charm in it prior to that. And you put it in the third link as you're going along. So we'll do it one more time together. And then if you want to just pause it, you can kind of fill in the rest of your charms on your own. So 1, 2, put it in the third one. Okay. Alrighty, so now we've got our bracelet all full of charms. Oh. Alright, so it's pretty cool looking as it already is, but we want to go ahead and add our little blue beads in there. Look how pretty that is. And they're all so different. They're really cool designs. So we're going to go ahead and add some of our really pretty beads. We're going to do 1 bead in between each charm. So if you look at it, you have 2 empty links. There's one, and then there's another one between each charm. It doesn't matter which one you put it between, which one you put it on. So just choose one and then work your way down the bracelet. So we're going to do, we put them in order, how we wanted them to go. And I like to kind of spread them out like this. So that way, whenever I go 1, 2, 3, 4, I'm going to go back to 1. So that way I still like the way it looks with these 2 next together. Okay, because we're just going to keep working our way through our pattern a couple of times. So start with your first one. We already made all our loops on there. And so just choose one of your little links to put it in. And you kind of need to pop it in there. Just push it a little bit in there so it pops right in. And see how the link is inside of your loop? That's perfect. That's exactly what we're going for. So what we're going to do is we're going to use a pointy flat to hold on to our loop. You still want your tool to be parallel to the wrap wire, just like we did for our earrings yesterday. And you can see it's kind of crowded. So I'm covering up the loop, but not where the wires cross, and I'm not covering up that link of chain there, and I'm not holding them both together like this, because if you do that and squeeze, you can cut through the wire, which we don't want to do. So you need to get over here on the side next to just the loop, okay? And you can use your hands to do with it. I like to use a tool to pull that wire around because I can get it a little bit tighter. Okay. So it's probably only going to take about a wrap and a half or so. And then we're going to cut it. And remember what we said yesterday about when you cut, you want your little tail wire to be perpendicular to your loop, so that way you're less likely to cut your loop in half. That's going to be particularly true for this bracelet because things are about to get very crowded. Okay. So we're going to move into our next open space, pop it in, and then we'll start wrapping. Okay, so flat goes in there, make sure you got a good hold of everything. And wrap it around. Wrap and a half or 2 wraps is totally good enough. Okay. And after you cut it, if you feel a little sharp bit sticking up, you can take your flats and just press that down. Okay, and be careful that you don't break the crystals when you're doing it. If it's already tight enough, then just leave it be. But at the same time, you don't want to snag sweaters and things like that. So do your best work so that way you get a good quality finish. And I like doing it assembly line style like this, so that way I can focus on the part that I'm trying to do and do really well on that each time. So when you do the same thing over and over, you kind of get a better finished product. And these bracelets have been so popular. Kind of got to push things out of the way. Let gravity work for you. Can you see how I'm holding it like this? My loop is up at the top and everything else that's heavy is just kind of falling down here. I'm making gravity get all this stuff out of my way so I can get the tool in there. And see, I'm holding my finger here, kind of propping everything else up out of the way, so that way I can just wrap just with the one thing that I'm trying to do and get all this other stuff out of the way so I can kind of be clear on what I'm doing. Okay, if you ever lose your place in your pattern and you're like, oh, which one did I do next? You can count. So 3, 3, 3, 3, I know I'm ready to go start again. Or if you want to, you can look at the bead and see which one you had last. Sometimes though, when they're similar colors, it can be kind of hard to tell. But these charm bracelets have been so popular in the store this year. We did a couple different ones for fall. There's like a kind of an orangey, harvesty color one. And then there's like a glam one that's like white and metallic silver and metallic gold. That one was really fun. And then we've got this blue icy snow one. And then a little teaser here. Some of y'all don't know that, but we are doing a red and green, kind of a fun Christmas one with different light bulbs, like Christmas light bulbs and Christmas charms and things like that. That one will be really cute too. So that one will be coming out for our make and takes probably, I think we got about 2 weeks before we do that one maybe. So I'm pretty much just doing the same thing over and over. And if you wanted, you can do a whole bracelet full of these with just beads. It doesn't have to be with the charms in there. You can do just beads, and whenever I do that, basically the important part is start from one end, work to the other end, so that way it's a little easier to see what you're doing. And as long as they fit in there, you can even put more than one bead on each side of the chain. You can do one on one side and one on the other side, or 2 in one, or 2 in 2, and they make a really fun, like fluffy charm bracelet with really pretty beads. Check glass is great for that. Swarovski is great for that. So many different options, and they all come out really, really cool. Alright, so just go through and keep adding all your beads until you get to the end. You should use them all up with one in between each one, but you can see already, like it's really pretty already. It's coming along. So give me just a second and I will show you the finished product. Alright, so I've got all my beads and all my charms on there, and look how gorgeous this is. Like, who would not want to receive this as a gift? It would be so pretty. And if you wanted, you could even make it into a necklace. Take the clasp off and put more chain on the back. That would be really pretty too. There's so many different things you can do with this, and you can even do like a small section like this for a purse dangle if you wanted to, and just put a big chunky lobster claw on the top and then hang it on your purse. There are so many options with this, but it's just a really gorgeous piece, and it's been really popular in the shop, and we thought you might like to see it. So if you have any questions, feel free to message us. We can definitely try to help you, kind of talk you through the technique a little bit. If you want to come see us in person and get some good practice in, our table is always open. And yeah, we've got the kits on the website, and our giveaway today actually is going to be one of the kits. So one lucky person will win one of the kits. You'll have to put it together yourself, but thanks to this video, now you know how. In order to win the video, what you need to do is comment below and name somebody that you think would enjoy this as a good gift. Alright, that's the end of it. So thanks for watching, guys, and we will see you tomorrow with another new video. Bye.